Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food on Facebook and YouTube. And today is part 2 of the 4-part series. Bulletproof is always allowed. Today's topic is the craving. What happens to you when you get a craving for something? And of course a craving would be most likely something that you no longer have in your food regimen. And to me, a craving always begins with a trigger. And once I see something or smell something, I'm around something, it's talking to me, then the craving sets in. I mean, I am salivating. My taste buds are tingly. I'm doing everything but eating it. You know, it is just a fantasy. And so it's one step into it further than the trigger. The trigger has been that I'm at, you know, perhaps let's just say some sort of holiday event. The tray of cookies is there. So I was triggered that it was there because up until then, I'd been fine. You know, I've been home. I've been used to what I've got around my house. I'm not buying triggering foods and keeping them in the house, right? I'm not bringing a little tray of something home from some sort of party where the person said, hey, take it. We've got so much, we're just going to throw it out. Like that bridal shower I was at where they had the 4-layer chocolate cake, chocolate and mousse and frosting and ganache, and it was like, yeah, there's my heroin, and take it home because we're just going to throw it out. And honest to God, they'd have to because the cake didn't even come from that place. I guess it was her favorite cake, and they, you know, got permission to bring it in for the shower at this restaurant. So, okay, so you've been triggered, and now the craving has set in. Or say it's a pizza place, and you think that you're going to be okay with the measly little Caesar salad that they offer on the menu for people like you and me, you know, or they haven't like gotten into the century where we have gluten-free now, and so all they have are the gooey, regular wheat, gluten-filled pizzas, and we can't partake, but we got to sit around and make like it's okay. And I don't know if you've been there with a craving. I've sat there, and it's like, I don't hear a thing that's going on. I am so craving that piece of pizza that's sitting there. And usually my standards would be that it would have to be hot, like right, you know, when it first comes to the table and everything. And it's like, oh, no. I would take this thing if it was like, you know, I would take it if it was lying on trash. Let's face it, I'm a foodie. And, you know, I worked in restaurants. I know what it's like to pick something out of the trash and have a gnaw at it. I have no shame in telling you people that. That's how those things roll. So, okay, now you're hostage to your craving. What are you going to do? Well, this is what I would do if I was hostage to my craving. First of all, as I said in the triggering video, I would be squinting at it. And I would know because I would know because I'm on a food plan, and this food plan required me making sacrifices, and some of those sacrifices were no sugar, no wheat, and no other grains. And so if I'm going to a pizza parlor with a group of people, I'm going to know that it's there. So I have to arm myself. I'm not just going to be triggered, but I'm going to be really craving by the time I leave that place, unless I can take care of myself. One of the standard things that I've learned about myself, I have my little yogurt, chocolate, peanut butter, melty thing that I've created. And it's a small little thing. I put it in my little glass jar. And that I know that if I'm at one of these events and all this stuff is swirling around me, because I did it before when I was a foodie, I will go home and have my designated dessert that I know I've prepared. It has my coconut oil. It has my 2 ounces of yogurt. It has my tablespoon of almond butter, cashew butter, peanut butter, one of the three, not all three. And it will have the bulletproof chocolate that has xylitol in it with no sugar grams, and one little square of Baker's unsweetened chocolate. And I will have that, and I will know the entire time that I'm at this event that I can go home, put on my jams, watch one of my guilty pleasures, and have my little treat. So I've got that in my head. That's how I handle the craving. I know that I'm going to have some sort of small pleasure when I leave the place. So I don't get home and suddenly one of Greg's pints in the freezer looks good to me, right? So that's how I handle the craving. If I'm at a place with like a pizza, which would be a big craving for me to sit there in a pizza place and watch people serve people pieces where the cheese is oozing and all that, that would be very, very, very triggering and set up my craving. And so I have my noodleless lasagna that I could look forward to. So if I know on a Tuesday that I'm going to be in a pizza parlor, or pizza's being sent to where I work for like a staff party, I know that that night or the next night I am going to have my noodle-free lasagna, because that will take care of the craving. I'll have my dripping cheese, I'll have my eggplant, my zucchini, and my meat sauce. And so I will be satisfied from that. That's how I handle a craving. I do the alternative, the most like, the better bad choice, and I don't dive and I don't cave. I can't. First of all, I have to honor myself in my food program, and I don't want re-exposure to wheat or gluten or grains. And second of all, how would I come back on here? My YouTube is 2,000 people, and my Facebook is almost 300. So how would I come back, some of you are all the same, and tell you, oh, yeah, I couldn't do it. I mean, you know, I've got to be an example. I've got to be responsible, because I want to be back here the next day telling you that it is possible to get through, so far in our little series, a trigger and a craving. And a craving is something that, for me, being a foodie, a food addict, addicted to food, I have to be careful, because that craving stays inside of me. It sits. It waits. It's not going away. It's very close, and maybe it's moved into the obsession. And the obsession is yet another topic. And the obsession is long after the trigger and the craving. It's the next day. It's like I'm not sitting in the pizza parlor, and yet my obsession for a drippy, gooey piece of cheese is happening. And if I wasn't true to my program, I could cheat. I could find a place to have that and tell all of you that I'm fine. No, I'm gluten-free. No, I'm grain-free. No, I'm doing this. And that would be dishonest. It would be dishonest to me, and it would be dishonest to you and for you. So, with that craving, I have to make sure that I've got a small pleasure either the next day or the next night or that night in my jammies in front of my little TV watching my guilty pleasure. I've got to have that. I know that about myself. One thing about being 65 is you learn. You pay attention to your body, you become aware of what it is, and some things just don't go away. Like for certain people, they have to have a medication in order to make something go away. Well, I have to have my small pleasure planned to make the craving of where I'm at go away. So that's my little video for the day. How I handle a craving is to have a small pleasure planned, something very similar, a BBC, better bad choice, and I can make it through. Just like right now, I told you in another video, I'm having my little tiny little glass jar dessert 4 or 5 nights each week. It's a coping mechanism. Instead of having 3 of the double portion, which is a half a cup of yogurt with the chocolate and the peanut butter and the coconut oil, I'm having 2 ounces of yogurt, and I'm doing it on a nightly basis. It's a coping mechanism. It's a better bad choice. It keeps me sane. I look forward to it. That's how I handle the craving. And so until the next time, this has been Sarah, headband matching the bathrobe. Okay? I just want to show you that, you know, I'm aware. Have a wonderful day. I know it's that stressful time. Remember, BBCs are much better than diving in and having the num-num that's a naughty num-num. Okay? See you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.